You are midway through a corridor of the terminal, the gate number blinking above a crowd. You pull up the itinerary on your phone, and the logo on the email is one airline, but the flight number prefix is from another, and the gate display shows a third name. Your chest tightens. Around you, people tap boarding passes, a coffee maker gurgles, the PA announces a delay, and someone's stroller squeaks. You feel suddenly small in a system.
If your flight happens to be canceled or delayed, CODESHARE will help you get compensation for the inconvenience and get your money back without wasting time on red tape. Get a refund for your canceled flight right
That seems designed to confuse. That confusion has a name: CODESHARE. It feels like a bait and switch, only because the ticket you bought lists a marketing airline, the brand that sold or distributed the seat, while a different airline actually operates the airplane and carries you. I'll walk you, step by step, through how to check who's really operating your flight, what could go wrong with bags, seats, and connections, and the exact practical actions that cut your risk to almost zero. Start at home before you walk into the airport. Open the confirmation email or the carrier's booking page and look for two things: the flight number prefix, 2 letters at the start of the number, and a line that says something like "operated by" or "operated as." If the flight number starts with an airline code different from the logo on the page, for example, AA123, where AA is American, but it reads operated by British Airways, that's your first clear sign. Write down the operating carrier's name, the aircraft type if listed, and the operating carrier's flight number. It will usually be different. Next, check baggage allowances and seat selection policies on the operating carrier's website. CODESHARE tickets can be sold under the marketing carrier's rules or the operating carrier's rules, depending on the fare and ticketing agreement, and the real-world rule that matters at the gate is usually the operating carrier's. Pay particular attention to checked bag sizes, weight limits, and whether a seat assignment will survive the switch. If you have frequent flyer status or need to redeem miles, check which program will accept credit for the flight. Sometimes it's the marketing airline, sometimes the operating carrier, and sometimes neither without a phone call. At the airport, use the operating carrier's counters for check-in when possible. Many airlines permit you to check in with either carrier if the ticket is on the same ticketing agreement, but where the aircraft is actually operated makes a difference for boarding time, lounge access, and which terminal you must use. Look at the gate display. It will almost always list the operating carrier. If the gate says operated by with a different logo, follow that. If you're ever in doubt, ask at the check-in desk or call the operating carrier's reservations line. Polite, precise questions like, "Who operates flight AA123 on October 14th? Get you a clear name and flight number. Why do airlines do this? The simple everyday analogy is retail shelf space. Imagine a supermarket that sells a brand label from a partner company because they want to offer more products to customers without operating a new factory. Airlines sell seats on each other's flights so they can offer more destinations, coordinate schedules, and fill seats more efficiently. The marketing airline lists the seat in its system and can sell it through its website and loyalty program. The operating airline actually flies the plane. For customers, this means choice and more flight options, but it also creates mismatches in baggage rules, fees, upgrade priority, and even onboard amenities. Here's the direct risk picture, measured in dollars and time. Baggage fees can vary dramatically. Domestic checked bag fees in the US are commonly $25, $35 for the first bag, and $35
$45 for the second on legacy carriers. But on some regional or low-cost operators, the fee can be $0 for small bags or up to $75 plus, depending on weight and route. Internationally, the range is even wider, from included checked bags on long-haul partners to per-bag charges of $60, $200 on narrow-body regional legs. If the operating carrier charges more for bags and you only paid the marketing carrier's price at booking, you will owe the operating carrier at check-in. Seat selection can cost $0, $50 per leg for standard seats, or $70, $300 for premium seats, depending on the aircraft. Upgrades operate under the operating carrier's rules and can vanish if you booked under the marketing carrier expecting certain perks. Missed connection risk is another big one. If your itinerary is on a single ticket and the operating carrier is late, the airlines usually take responsibility for rebooking you on the next connecting flight on that same ticket, but only if all legs are on a single ticket and the carriers have an interline agreement.
If the tickets are separate segments sold separately, you are likely on your own and could face overnight hotel costs of $100, $400 plus rebooking fees. Worst case, with low-cost operators or separate PNRs, a delayed inbound can mean you miss a flight and the airline refuses responsibility because the segments were not ticketed together. There's also the loyalty and compensation angle. EU 261 compensation rules and similar national passenger rights apply to the operating carrier. If you were expecting the marketing carrier to owe you compensation for a delay or cancellation, that expectation can be wrong. For example, under EU rules, a delayed long-haul flight might qualify for €250, €600 depending on distance, but you must claim against the carrier that actually operated the flight. Now, the safest, cheapest, most practical solution you can adopt in 2 minutes after booking. 1. Immediately identify the operating carrier and operating flight number. If the ticket shows a CODESHARE, use the operating carrier's website to confirm the aircraft and baggage rules. 2. Pay for any checked baggage through the operating carrier, not the marketing site, if their fee is different. It prevents double upsell and ensures your bag is accepted on their aircraft. 3. If loyalty accrual matters, check both programs and call the airline if the website is unclear. Sometimes adding your frequent flyer number to the operating carrier's reservation requires a phone agent. 4. If you have a tight connection, book both legs on the same PNR with protective minimum connection times, or avoid CODESHAREs on critical tight connections. Many useful links can be found in the description. If this is helping you figure out your itinerary, please click like and subscribe. It helps me keep sharing clear, honest travel fixes. A useful throwaway example. You book through Airline A's site because their price and schedule look great. The itinerary says AA 789, but the flight is operated by Regional Sky, and the aircraft is an ATR 72, which has limited overhead bin space and a 23-kilogram checked bag limit per passenger at a fee of $40. At check-in, you discover the regional carrier charges $40 for the first checked bag and enforces a 10-kilogram carry-on limit in practice. If you had assumed Airline A's baggage policy applied, say a free checked bag for your fare class, you're suddenly out of pocket and possibly forced to gate check a bulky carry-on for $40.
A specific misleading booking trick to watch for. Some online travel agencies and even airline sites show an airline's logo prominently while burying "operated by" text in the fine print. The page design nudges you to think the brand you prefer will fly you. If the page also lets you filter by price but not by operating carrier, The site is prioritizing marketing carrier brand over actual operation. Refuse it by expanding the itinerary details, looking for the operating carrier line, or canceling within the free 24-hour cancellation window if you need clarity and want to rebook on the true operator. Another common upsell is the marketing airline offering priority boarding or seat selection at purchase, as if those perks are honored on the operating carrier. In practice, operating carriers set boarding groups and seat maps. When you buy a seat on the marketing site, have the confirmation in hand and check the operating carrier's policy. Sometimes the operating carrier charges again at check-in, or simply ignores the seat assignment sold by the marketing airline. The refusal tactic is simple and polite. Ask for a refund for the seat purchase from the marketing carrier if the operating carrier won't honor it, or better yet, buy your seat directly from the operating carrier once you've confirmed the flight number. If you're already at the airport and discover a mismatch, here's exactly what to do in order. Step to the operating carrier's check-in desk, show your itinerary, and ask them to confirm the flight number, baggage rights, boarding time, and seat assignment. If baggage fees differ, ask if the operating carrier will match the marketing carrier's fee. Sometimes agents will honor a buy already paid for as a courtesy. If a seat you paid for vanishes, ask for a written denial, name, time, agent number, and request a refund from the marketing carrier. Written denials make disputes much easier. For missed connections, keep every boarding pass and confirmation. Ask the operating carrier at the gate to rebook you on the next available CODESHARE or partner flight. The more documentation you have, the stronger your claim. A few quick, practical checks before you click Buy on any fare. Filter search results for the operating carrier when possible, or add a note in your booking to request the operating carrier.
If you use an aggregator, open the fare rules and ticketing details. Most systems that sell code shares will include the operating carrier name in the fare page or the e-ticket receipt. Consider calling the marketing airline if the website is unclear. Customer service can confirm the operator and often give you the operating carrier's flight number so you can check the seat map and aircraft type. Finally, one hidden fee people miss: baggage resales. Some marketing carriers sell a bundled fare that includes a checked bag, but the operating carrier charges per segment and will bill the bag at their standard rate if the bag wasn't paid on their system. That can create duplicate charges or denials at the gate. Prevent this by paying baggage on the operating carrier's site after you confirm they are the operator. Keep receipts and take screenshots. Code shares also complicate comfort expectations. You might buy a leg because a marketing carrier advertises a wide-seat plane, but the operating carrier uses a smaller regional jet with narrower seats and limited recline. If seat comfort matters, check the operating carrier's seat map and aircraft type and rebook if the plane is unacceptable. To recap, in short, actionable steps you can apply right now. 1. Identify the operating carrier and flight number immediately after booking. 2. Check baggage, seat, and upgrade rules on the operating carrier's site. 3. Pay for bags and seats on the operating carrier if their fees are lower or if that guarantees acceptance. 4. Keep all confirmations and request written denials for any refunded or unhonored purchases. 5. If a code share creates a tight connection, rebook the legs on the same operator or allow more time. If you want a quick checklist to screenshot and carry to the gate, I've put one in the description with the websites and phone numbers that always work. Many of you are nervous about taking a code share on a first trip. That's normal. But with these checks, you can avoid surprise fees, protect your baggage, and keep your trip on track. If you found this useful, please subscribe and like. It helps other nervous flyers find practical answers and keeps these guides coming. Safe travels.